All right, one of the major components of the draft, of course, is the life-changing experience that this is for those players. Really, everything changes from here. They're going to be signing some very important contracts to change their lives, possibly their families as well. Joining us now is Butzel attorney Mitch Zajac. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, like we said, this is huge for these players who are being recruited by the NFL. When they are going into these new contracts, what are some of the things that they need to keep in mind?
No, it's a great question. I mean, it's really the first time they're going to get paid to play football, right? Many of the players now have had NIL deals, right? Especially those getting drafted tonight. They've seen contracts before for performing activities, charitable services, or showing up on ad campaigns or whatever the case might be. But this time, they're going to get paid to play football. So the biggest piece, especially tonight, is the negotiation power that they have. First-round draft picks have really the only negotiation power that there is in the draft, and that's not just on their salary, but what can be guaranteed. When can their payouts happen? How is their deal structured in the sense of payment up front or payment in the back end, and then also just the protections overall that exist within the contract to ensure that they have a place on the team, again, as long as they follow those rules that are required in the contract. But that really starts tonight with those guys, and it really shifts and changes throughout the night of tonight as you get later in the first round, and tomorrow and Saturday as well.
What are some of the mistakes that you have seen rookie players make that you would absolutely advise against?
I think not having trusted representation is important. I mean, I'm a lawyer, so it's not a shameless plug at all, but having somebody you trust to look at the details of the contract, again, we often get blinded by the money, but how am I going to get paid? Is it all guaranteed, right? Actually, over the last couple of years, you've seen a shift where 100% guarantee takes place in this first night of the draft. So if it's a $40 million contract, they're guaranteed the $40 million, right? Where some of it's up front and some of it's paid over time, but not paying attention to the ways in which the team can really kick you off the team, right? Not following the law, not following team rules. We've seen too much of that really in the news lately, and oftentimes people think they're invincible, but really nobody's safe in an NFL contract, right? Even if you are the guaranteed player, there's still issues you can run into.
Yeah, and for most of these players, in most cases, this is a whole new world that they're just thrusted into. How dangerous and damaging could the excitement of all of this be if they're not paying attention to the fine print?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to who's representing them and who's taking care of reading through those contracts. I've talked to NFL players before where they say, I don't really know what this exclusion is, how I can get kicked off the team. I know I should probably be a good person or I should probably not break the law, but I've never read the details. So if you don't have somebody that you trust looking over that for you, it oftentimes can lead you into trouble because a lot of times these guys are the first time they've seen real money, right? And it's a lot of money that's going to get passed around tonight. And so, people that are going to come out of the woodwork if they've never seen before, again, having that trusted support is really key to surviving not only the terms of the contract, but, how you become and live as a pro athlete going forward.
Yeah, well, we're wishing all the prospects luck tonight, and I hope they have those support systems around them to make the best decisions. Attorney Mitch Zajac, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.